President Trump is promising a big, beautiful tax cut this Christmas, but for one group of Americans, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. We don't know if it'll be in the final version of the Republican tax reform legislation, but one provision in the House bill that passed would have a big impact on graduate students across the country. Grad students who teach or work as research assistants usually have their tuition waived by the university. But the House tax plan would treat those tuition waivers as income, meaning the students would have to pay taxes on that. We're talking more about the effect of this today with Rachel Linderman. She is a second-year graduate student at the Medical College of Wisconsin. Thanks for being with us today. It's good to have you on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Well, tell us in lay people's terms the work that you're doing at the Medical College right now.
So I work in the Advanced Ocular Imaging program, and what we do is we work on imaging the retina, which is what holds the photoreceptors, which allows you to see, and we work on trying to characterize how those photoreceptors act in people with and without disease.
Okay, so that's a job. That's a research job.
Yes.
And can I ask you what you're compensated for that job?
About $30,000, which is standard for all the graduate students at MCW. It varies based on the school. MCW is very generous.
Okay. Some schools pay more like $18,000?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so so it really depends kind of where you are for how you're compensated for the work you do. But I work about 40 to 60 hours a week.
40 to 60 hours. And so your tuition is waived as part of this deal?
Yes.
And tuition's about what?
$30,000, so it's just as much as our stipend is.
So let's talk about the impact of at least what the House is talking about. We should point out that the Senate does not include this in its tax reform legislation, but the House is talking about having this full amount. The $30,000 that you're paid, and then that $30,000 waiver, all taxed as if you're making $60,000 a year. What would that mean for somebody like you?
The math done so far that I've seen says it's about $250 a month of taxes that would be lost from our pocket. So for us, it means less money in our savings account. I'm married, so I'm lucky where we have a little bit of flexibility. For those with children or where it's the graduate student is the main bread earner for the family, it means not so much savings. It means food. It could mean childcare. It could mean a variety of different things, just depending on situations and how you're sitting.
Could this possibility have a chilling effect on people who want to do what you do, who want to be in the world of research?
I think it could. The benefit of being graduate students in sciences is that we do get the stipend and we don't have to pay tuition. In other areas, it's not as nice. You have to take out loans. You need to also take out loans to cover living costs. However, it's very easy to see that the scientists don't necessarily make a ton of money throughout their lifetime. And so it's a trade-off. You know, as a doctor can take out a bunch of loans knowing that their compensation amount is going to be roughly the same of what 4 years of medical school costs. Hopefully it's different for a scientist. So to take that hit, you can absorb it, but it might make some people, particularly non-traditional students, stop and think for a second instead of going.
Tell us, Rachel, what your hope would be at this point, because there is a lot of attention being focused on this issue. It is still very much in play. We don't know which version of the legislation is actually going to become the final legislation. What would you like to see happen?
I mean, obviously, I would prefer not to be taxed on money I don't see. I think that would be best for the graduate students. That being said, I understand why they're doing it. It has to be a net neutral revenue cost for 10 years. So this was just one way to compensate for the other cuts. That being said, you have to wonder about the impact it'll have on science going forward, considering all of the strides you are theoretically giving up if you're stopping students from going into that.
Do you think this is an issue that plays in what they call middle America? Do you think the average American will have much empathy for what graduate students like you and others are experiencing?
No, I would hope so. I'd hope they would be able to understand what $250 would mean to them. And graduate students typically aren't old. They're people who are postponing going to work because they really want the training that it will give them. And so you have to imagine this is going to hit the 20 to 30-year-olds particularly hard, and then from there, who knows? I would like to think I'm a good representation of Middle America, considering I did grow up in a more rural area. But I honestly don't know. I think it would be rude to assume anything at this point.
Rachel Linderman is a second-year grad student at the Medical College of Wisconsin. We appreciate your time today. Thanks very much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Coming up next on Up Front, why the political drama in Alabama may not be over on Tuesday, even for candidates right here in Wisconsin.